afternoon. Thank you all so much for gracing our house. We give God honor for you this morning. And oh my God, we have a movie star in the house. All right. Let me introduce her so we can move on. All right. The makeup industry has a rising star on its palette. Julianna Mayfield, national makeup educator. Julianna Mayfield lives by the motto, when a woman looks good on the outside, her confidence radiates on the inside, which enables her to accomplish anything in her preview. Julianna's roots were embedded in the makeup industry practically since birth. Yes. She was fortunate to grow up with a mother who serves as an elite executive national sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And you know her, none other than that Superman all day and night, Julianna Mayfield. By the age of 15, Julianna was well versed and visible in her mother's makeup circles. During the start of her career, Julianna attempted to look for expert artists willing to mentor and teach her. Frustrated with their reluctance to share insights, she spent years teaching herself the art and science of makeup application. This ultimately led her to create the Hooked Look Glamour Workshop. Yes, a hands-on makeup color class that helps women to identify and achieve the look that best complements their personal image. Today, Julianna travels across the country with her Hooked Look makeup workshops, teaching women of all ages how to apply makeup. This interactive glamorous lesson has been sold out across the nation in major cities such as Los Angeles, Chicago, Oakland, Houston, Seattle, Salt Lake City, and Philadelphia. She has also taught over 500 plus women in the Mary Kay Cosmetics sales force how to enhance their image and how to apply the cosmetics on their clients. Yes, Julianna believes that makeup application is more than what is stated, but it's a platform to empower women to understand and showcase their best self through makeup and image branding. Julianna received her bachelor's degree in economics from Spelman College in Atlanta, GA, and graduated from Makeup Artist Studio, a Mary Kay, was that supposed to say Mary Kay Cosmetics. And it says a MAC Cosmetic Institute. That's what it says. It's a MAC Cosmetic Institute. I want you, I know it's kind of tight in here, but if you could just raise the roof, and I want to present to some and introduce to others, none other than that super bad all day and night long, Julianna Mayfield!
I want y'all to stay standing. Y'all, I truly believe as women, we don't get started learning until we start dancing. Am I right? Okay, so I want to turn that up.
Living this kind of life.
Hey, sing along if you know the words. Come across, let me see something shake.
I like living this kind of life.
I'm living the best of life. Hey, y'all better be shaking this right now. I ain't scared to smack you. Wait a minute, I just want to let y'all know. Okay?
All right now. Go, girl. In my Father's hands. I'm blessed when I come. I can't sing. When I go. Every day I'm living in the overflow.
I am excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me down here in the dirty. Okay, I am so excited. Y'all, today we are going to just I really really am excited to serve you women today and just really share with you the power of makeup application and what it's going to do not only for you and your image and your confidence, but also what I feel that I'm going to equip you with to help other women, right? Because, you know, as women, how many know that when we have it all together, we can take care of the whole world, right? We can take care of everything else when we got it all together, okay? So that's really, really what I want to empower you ladies with today, okay? Today, thank you. I ain't gonna front like I'm not a brag. I know, right? Y'all can see me a little bit. I can't sweat out my hair. I'm natural. Those edges got to stay intact. Thank you. But I want to empower you ladies because today we're really gonna, what I want you guys to really focus on is applying your face for not only you looking gorgeous and learning new techniques. You know what, in makeup application I've learned as long as I've been in the business for about 11 years or so. But I've been with my company for about, I don't know, I was 2005, so about 6 years, 7 years I've had face forward. And you know, the thing is that I found that there are so many ways to do makeup application. There are so many ways. So you know what? I'm going to teach you guys some ways that you're going to add to your toolkit. There may be some things that you do already that maybe I can help you learn other ways and just really add to it. Because also when you get in front of your customers, there are going to be ways that maybe they don't do one thing, you know, apply their liner one way. It's not very comfortable to apply their liner that way. Well, you got to help them to find another way, another technique that is helpful for them. So I'm just giving you extra tools and extra knowledge to add to your mental toolbox. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, so the way that the class is set up is going to be really fun because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do the technique here on a model. And I'm going to explain everything that I'm going through. And this is the time that you guys want to take the opportunity to take notes and just write down the steps and things like that. Then I'm going to give you guys all time to do the makeup on yourselves, to apply the makeup on yourselves, okay? So that way that you guys can watch me with undivided attention so that you'll know what to do. And then also you'll have the ability to do it on yourselves as I go around and help each woman critique it for the critique your application for yourselves, okay? And not only that, but I can also help you to develop it not only for your face, but I encourage you guys to look around and look around to the women that are behind you, beside you, in front of you, because you know what? They're symbolic of your customers, right? You may not have, you know, fair skin or almond-shaped eyes, but the woman next to you might, right? So pay attention to her because she's going to be, you know, you might be helping a woman that looks just like her one day, okay? Just for, okay.
She's endorsing beauty powders, you guys.
But so this is going to be a great opportunity. I also want you guys to write down your questions. This will also help that when you guys have questions, I want you guys to write down because while I'm going through, I'm going to give, there are going to be 2 segments, and at the end of each segment, I want you guys to ask your questions and loud enough so that the whole room can hear. I don't want you asking through it because I might answer your question as I'm going along. Okay, so the first segment we're going to do skin, and we're going to do foundation and just really giving a flawless face. The second part we're going to do glamour. We're going to do the color cosmetics. Okay, so that's going to be your eyes and lips. Okay, so they're going to be broken up into 2 segments. So I want you guys to invite our first model up. Give her a round of applause. So you're going to bring everything. Yep. Oh no, but you'll need your mirror though. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is learn how to build a flawless finish. Can you get excited? Woo! Can you get excited about having a skincare class? An advanced glamour appointment selling $122 a product?
Woo!
Can y'all get I see circle of a $650,000 circle of excellence up there. I need y'all to get excited about $122 glamour appointment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's only doing the face. I'm only going to show you how to do the face. And let me tell you, by the time you're finished with this, you will be able to sell every single woman $122.
All right.
Okay. Get excited. So first we're going to do, you know what? Does anybody have any primer?
Right here.
Primer. Okay, so first I'm going to start with primer for Frankia. First, number one, you always want to cleanse your hands. That's hands down. I'm going to start with primer with Frankia. Primer is essential because you know what, this is going to be, that's the face that you want to, that's what you want to use, especially when you're going out at night. It gives your face a flawless finish because it fills in your large pores and fine lines. It also helps the makeup to stay on a lot longer than if you did not have on primer. It also prevents the makeup from turning colors as well, because sometimes what happens is your natural skin oils get to the makeup and it changes colors on the face. Now I'm applying the primer all over Frankia's face. Notice I'm starting with one side of her face, the left side, because I want to make sure that I have an even coverage. So if I start with the left side and then go to the right, then I will make sure that I have hit every area of her face. Now I'm going to the right, making sure I have an even coverage. Because I can't see this primer on her face, I just have to go with where I have the areas that I have touched on her face. Don't forget down the center of the nose as well. Okay, so now after I've applied the primer, I like to let it sit. I like to give it a moment to just process. Too often we go too fast. We don't give
I do. I brought like you have all those.
Thank you. I'll go get some during the break.
You need more than that?
No,
Okay.
it's good. Thank you. So now I'm going to just give a second for the primer to dry, because too often what we do is we go to moisturizer, primer, and then our foundation too quickly. And what happens are you're not giving enough time for those products to actually settle and do its work. So give it enough time, probably about 15 or 20 seconds between each step. Let it sit, let the moisturizer get in, seal it with the primer, then apply your foundation on top of it. But if you go too fast, that stuff becomes a cocktail on your face. Now I'm going to go ahead with the liquid. I'm like,
If it's not, we can get another one.
okay. So we'll just see if this color is going on a little red. Might just, I know I've tested it before, but. Okay, so first so as you can tell, I just put the foundation on my hand. No specific reason why, it's just comfortable right there, so I can get to it easiest. I'm going to take my foundation brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the foundation to the top of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, and down the cheeks. Why am I doing this? It's because I want to only apply a thin layer of foundation initially. That's it. I want a very thin layer to start off with, and then if I step back, then I can see where I'll need some extra foundation. But I first want to start with a thin layer of foundation. So if I put it there at the areas that the sun will hit first, then I'm going to spread it out from those areas. I'm going to take some water. This is just some water in a spray bottle, and I'm going to spray my brush. What this is doing is dampening the brush, and so that way I have it will spread easier. And notice that I'm just doing a thin layer right there. On her cheek, I'm going down on her cheek. Because it's so important to do a thin layer, because the thing is about cakey makeup is 99.9% human error. It has nothing to do with the product. It's really how you're applying the product. So notice on the forehead, I'm going up towards the hairline. Especially making sure to get through the brows. And then just dampen the brush. The water is only for the brush, not for the product. And then I'm going to blend down on her nose. Right here. Make sure I have an even coverage. I'm going to even all of that out on, especially on her forehead, because I could have applied a little bit less. But I'm just evening it out because I don't want it to be, again, that cakey look. And so also down on her cheek. Notice the direction I'm going. I'm stroking down on her cheek. Because that's where the any hairs on the face, they grow down. All hair. We always have hair. The only places we don't have hair are our palms and the bottom of our feet. So the hairs on our face grow down. So you want to stroke down. Same thing with on our forehead, they grow up. So you want to grow up and apply up and away. I'm just getting a little bit on the eyes there. And now I'm going to apply also on her chin. Why I didn't apply on her chin originally because this is a matte wear. And if I didn't get to her chin fast enough to apply, to spread and blend the foundation, it would have dried in that mark. So that's why I didn't apply that, go to her chin when I originally made the other application with the foundation.
It's beautiful. That's pretty.
So I'm just applying it. And you see how there's not a lot of cake. There's not a lot of, you don't need a lot. All you need is just that base. Okay. So then, that's it. The whole purpose of foundation is just so that everything gets to one even color, right? And then if you also need help to add to that even color, let's see, what's around here. Okay. Now I'm going to use the concealer. I didn't use it originally because I want the concealer to help my foundation, not my foundation helping my concealer. Oh, okay. Right. Okay. So now I've got our concealer. I've got my concealer brush. And what I'm going to do is, if you have any dark circles around your eyes or anything like that, I encourage you not to necessarily put concealer all the way up under there. Just, there's always a line of demarcation, basically where the line of that discoloration begins. Apply the concealer to that line. It usually kind of goes in a semicircle, right in here. And a little bit up on the nose right there. I'm going to apply it right along that line. There. Now I'm going to just take my finger and simply press the color. Notice I'm not rubbing it, I'm not pulling it, right? I'm just pressing it into the foundation. Right there. So now you can see the difference, how it lightens up the inner corner of the eye. You see that? And I'm going to do the same thing. Again, the same with concealer. You want to start with a small amount. And all of your coverage doesn't have to be from the foundation. You don't have to get all your coverage from the foundation and all your coverage from the concealer. Because remember, we have another layer of powder going on there too, right? An instant way of lifting is also to apply concealer right on the sides of the mouth. And then blend until it's and then pat it until it's all blended. You can't see it. Applying here. Now I'm stepping back and I see that I was a little uneven on this side. So I'm just applying just another thin layer. Also, another trick for lifting is applying concealer on the outer corners of the eyes. Right in here. So you got the inner quarters, the outer corners of the mouth and the eyes for basically instant facelift with your concealer. There you go. Now you can see the difference. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with our powder. Too often, what we'll do is we'll put the concealer on before the foundation, and what that does is, sometimes when you put your concealer on first and then put your foundation on afterwards, you tend to move the concealer as you're rubbing on your foundation, right? So this way, if I put it on second, it's going to just stay right there. Okay, and so that's for just concealing. If you were highlighting or contouring, that would be a whole other story. But for concealing blemishes or anything like that, I suggest putting it on top. Just to kind of just keep it right there. So now I'm going in with the powder. And I'm getting my powder brush here. And notice with my powder brush, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually dip the powder brush with the belly of the brush. That's going to be the side of the brush. Not the head of the brush, but the belly, right in here. I'm going to pick up my powder using the side of the brush. Because too often what we do is we jam it on top, and then what happens is after time, your brush begins to spread, and then it won't do. It will be almost impossible for it to reshape. So you want to make sure that you're picking it up with the head of the brush. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this powder on the face with all its excess. Do you see all that excess that's on there? And I'm pressing this into the product, into the liquid and the cream, the liquid foundation and the cream concealer. All its access, because too often what happens is we'll just dust it all on, and then a while later we wonder why we don't have any, we have a lot of shine or anything like that. If you're anything like me, then my nose gets juicy, anything like that. And it's because we don't let the loose powder sit and really set the makeup, okay? So now after I've applied all that loose powder on her face, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit for just a moment, just so that it can process, and those loose particles can set into the cream and the liquid, into the liquid foundation and cream concealer. Now I'm taking off any product that was on my brush, so now I have a clean brush again, and then I'm dusting off all the excess powder. Because anything that is going to be used to set, any of the powder that was used to set the foundation has already settled. And now I'm actually using the head of the brush to dust that powder off. As you can see, she has a flawless finish, right?
It's pretty.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So, now afterwards, we do brown.
Hand getting tired. Hand, I'm about to switch hands, getting tired. Yeah, those iPads are nice. You can record with them. Yeah, I'm good.
Anybody have a brown? Do you have a brown? Yeah. Well, not deep brown or dark chocolate lip liner, brown lip liner. Oh.
What's your name?
Chocolate lip liner. I mean, not chocolate, but dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate. I have a dark chocolate.
I got cappuccino. I'm sorry, I'm shaking my hand, getting tired.
So now I'm going to get my brow brush, and I'm going to brush the hairs up and in the direction that they grow. And to fill in the brow, I'm going to draw a line directly outlining the bottom hairs of the brow. So I'm only outlining the shape. Okay, do you guys see that? Just a line. Now I'm taking the other end of that eyebrow brush, the angled portion, and I'm actually going to brush that line, smear it basically up into the brow. And then as the tail, I'm going to just kind of brush right over that line. And then as I brush the hair back into place, she's got a fuller brow. You guys see the difference there?
Wow.
You guys see the difference between the fuller brow and then that which, the one that has yet to be touched? And notice I use a dark chocolate lip liner. You know what? Too often, we always put ourselves in these boxes where we say we can't use this product for this purpose, right? But don't put yourself in a box, because you know what happens when you limit yourself? You're going to limit the women that you put in front of that you're going to be put in front of, right? The women that you've been sent to help, right? I understand that as a Mary Kay consultant, you're a consultant. You're not a salesperson. Let me tell you the difference. A consultant helps a woman. They help them to achieve the goal that they're at. A salesperson just sells them whatever they can, right? They sell it to them even if it's not going to help them. But you're a consultant. You're a professional image consultant. That's why they come to you and they want your professional advice as to what you think is best for them, and they're dependent on you. So you are responsible to go into all the liners and see what color is best for their eyebrows. All the liners and see what's best for their eyes and for their lips. Use all the colors, not just the brows. Because if they don't have the color there, then you're going to limit them when, maybe you found it in a lip liner. Let me tell you something. These the liners, all of them, they did not know what they were used for when they left the manufacturer. Okay? They're not going to tell on you. Okay? So use them for their color, and not so much the little, the label that's on the side of them. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and apply the line on this side, all the way to the end. You see that? Now I'm going to get the angle brush, and I'm going to smudge that color. And I'm going to smudge it pretty hard and what I'm doing with my pinky finger here is I'm kind of lifting that brow a little bit and smudging it, because what this is going to do is it's holding the skin. If you need to use your other hand in order to do that, that's fine too. So you see that there? You always, when you're considering a brow color, use a brow color that is 1 to 2 shades lighter than your actual brow hair. Okay? So you want to use a brow color that's, so never ever use black. There's nobody's going to need the color black. Not even if your hairs are the darkest hair. You want to use a dark brown, right? So always use a color that is a shade a shade lighter than your brow color. Okay, if you have very blonde eyebrow hairs, then use one shade darker so that you can bring out the color. Okay? So now I'm going to also apply a little blush. This is how you gotta travel. Your balance. You were trying to, I've had way too many cracks. Okay. So I'm gonna get the blush brush. Notice this blush brush. This is an ideal blush brush for any woman that you come across. It's not too big and round and bulky, and it has an angle, which is great for contouring. Contouring is a really pretty word for thin. I don't know about you, but I love the word thin. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up my my blush color. Let's just see. She's gonna smile for me. Right there on the apple of her cheek, I'm gonna apply the blush, and I'm going to go up and towards her temple. Notice I'm working my way up towards on her cheekbone. So let's see if you turn a little bit. So you see how I'm moving up?
Yeah.
If she makes a fishy face for me,
Yes.
you'll notice this little hollow right here. Right here. I want to stay above the hollow of her cheek with my cheek color. I don't want to go below that hollow. So I want to keep it up here, and I'm going to actually pull that blush also onto the temple as well. So I'm putting a majority here, and then blending it up towards the temple. Okay.
Should have been mom.
I'll look. Smile for me. So from the apple, and I'm going to work my color up towards her hairline. And then right in here, kind of making a little bit of a C. Okay. And then you'll find something a little fun. I'm going to take just a small amount too, and I'm going to just dust it right there on the top of her hairline. And basically that just kind of serves as a small contour. It just brings color to the face. I'm trying to look for, but a lot of even magazines that you'll see that they pull the blush color up into the hairlines, slightly though. And it just kind of warms the whole face. It's not just plop color here, but it warms the entire face. Okay? You can even do that with bronzers. It just warms the whole face. So you see how, right here, how it's just warming. It's bringing color to the face. I suggest blush for all skin tones and for everybody. Why? Because it brings depth to the makeup. It brings depth to your face. Putting color, just having color on the upper half and on the lower half, then you're not seeing anything that connects the two with your cheeks. It makes the makeup look flat. Blush, even if it just looks very subtle, brings depth to the face. Okay? Are y'all ready to work on your own makeup? Okay, awesome. Does anybody have any questions?
I do have one, and I'm just learning. So,
okay.
Is there and you're talking about the powders, and that was a loose powder versus a pressed powder. Is there a difference?
Well, that was a mineral powder, which is going to be used as a loose powder. So the loose and the mineral powder. I didn't use pressed powder because I'm going to have to use a lot more pressed powder in order to get that access on there.
Okay.
I chose between a mineral powder and a loose powder because of her color. I'm gonna look at the color first thing. The products, it don't matter to me unless if the color looks bad, then it's almost null and void. She's not gonna get any compliments when she goes outside. I need her to get compliments, right? Hello, y'all need to get some compliments, right? Your business is your face. You gotta get some compliments, so you better look good. So it doesn't even matter. So you don't want to limit yourself into saying, oh, I'm gonna use mineral powder or I'm only gonna use loose powder. You want to make sure that you have the great color. And I didn't use pressed powder because to get the pressed powder, a lot of the pressed powder, it was going to use a lot of the product. I like pressed powder for more touch-up or something than anything else. That's what I like pressed powder for.
I have a
Okay.
question about contouring and highlighting.
Uh-huh.
How would you do that? Just
For contour and highlighting,
Mm-hmm.
well, that it's really contouring is basically what I just did
Mm-hmm.
on the with the blush, and then that's like a whole nother lesson. Let me just keep it real. I didn't want to keep it real with you, but I'm gonna give you a breeze. But the highlighting is basically where you want the attention drawn. It's usually underneath the eye,
okay.
down the nose, and a sunburst kind of going on the forehead. And then contouring is basically where the areas that you want to look receded, almost, that you want to conceal. So maybe if we want the cheekbones to look higher, you would contour underneath and the hollows of the cheek, like I was showing you there. Then also around the hairline, because this brings attention to the face and the heart. It also can make like a forehead look smaller.
Okay.
Make a nose look smaller, because you would actually contour down the center, down the sides of the nose. And then if you had a long nose, maybe right there on the top, on the tip of it. But it's a play on lighting. It's basically pulling out the areas that you want to look to really bring out, and then receding the areas you don't want to stand out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question about her foundation color.
Yeah.
What color foundation was she using?
She was using bronze 4, but I think that was a little too red.
Yeah. I was thinking like bronze 3
Yeah.
or bronze 2.
Yeah, she's more yellow.
Yeah.
And that was a little red. We figured it out then. Now you
But
gotta
it still looks good though. It still looks good. I think the powder helped balance
The
it out.
powder does, and that's another thing to consider, is that sometimes when you don't have a foundation that's the exact color,
Right.
if you can balance it back out when you apply the powder on, that is the key to knowing, when you're like, if you step back, you're like, But if I go up, she's gonna be too dark. If I go down, but try to balance it out with the powder. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now it's gonna be your turn to do the makeup, and I'm so excited to come around and help you guys.
Julianna, are you going to show us about the lips?
Yeah. That's gonna be the second section.
Second section. Okay,
Mhm.
great.
Okay, should we go get us some water so we can use our brushes?
No, I got some here.